Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Degenerates podcast. Hey, it's Mike and Tony here. We gotta go now. We're going to go do a podcast, and we're doing it with you, so come and watch. We're gonna do a good job. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 17
of the Degenerates podcast. That one.
of the blank podcast.
Of the blank podcast with blank
The
and
blank. The blanks. You can't say those words.
Too late. Already said
it. So, this is a censorship episode, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about censored things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so instead of doing like just each choose our own topic and talk about those, we're just gonna do like one broad topic, kind of like how we did the politics episode,
and the philosophy episode,
and the philosophy episode,
and the book episode,
and the book episode. It turns out we've been doing this all along. We just didn't even know.
Yeah.
Alright, so it's not that big of a change, just a little one.
Oh yeah. And so today we're talking about censorship because there was a Nerd City video. I love Nerd City. I've been watching his videos ever since he made the Jake Paul one. He's a really good YouTuber. He puts a lot of work into his videos. That's why he only releases one like every 3 months or so, but they're really well done. And he released a video last week that was all about YouTube copyright. Sorry, not copyright. The words you can't say on YouTube, or your videos will get automatically demonetized. And it also showed how when a video is demonetized, it won't. The analytics. If you look at the analytics of the video, it won't. It will stop being shown to people on YouTube. And you can see they showed a clip of some guy from a History Channel complaining because all of his videos are getting demonetized, even though he puts a lot of effort into it, and he's quitting YouTube now, and he unlisted all his videos because he can't make money off of it anymore because he keeps getting demonetized. You can't really make money off History channels anymore because a bunch of offensive stuff happened in history. You can't monetize that sort of stuff anymore. So he showed his analytics for his video, and he points out like the time when his video got demonetized, and for like the first little bit the line is going like straight up, but then right when the video gets demonetized, it just goes like straight across, and it's not getting any more views anymore.
It's like,
and it's not just him. There's pretty much all big YouTubers have been noticing this, and that's why they put that in the video as an example.
Yeah. So like, what are some of the what's like an example of one of these, of like a few of these words?
Like, what's an example of the words?
All right, because if we say them, these videos get demonetized.
Oh well,
we don't even care about that because we don't get money.
Well, it's more of the algorithm won't show us. But yeah, right. I was thinking we should be allowed to say, well, for this episode, it's hard to talk about it without saying the words, so we should be allowed to say the words in this episode. And also then I was gonna bring up the whole list and we can go through it and find out some of the words we can't say, and then we'll know. It'll help us familiarize it with it. And I sent the list to you, right?
Where?
When I told you about it on Facebook.
On Facebook, okay, I'll get that.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up, but we're gonna go through this list. we're gonna and we're gonna say a bunch of them, except for the ones that could get us banned, because there's some words that you shouldn't say, or else you get banned, and we don't want to get banned, so we won't say those ones.
Yeah.
They're mostly just slurs and stuff. But there's a whole lot of words on there that aren't even weird at all. But yeah, we'll get to those. And videos.
What?
Huh?
A lot of these are actually really funny. A lot of these are kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm opening it up, the Google Doc. What ones are funny?
69. 420.
911, 911, 9/11, 9-11.
Acne.
Oh yeah,
Accused.
the way that these videos, the way that they found out was that they uploaded videos to a channel, and they had it so that the videos were like the same thing, all like it was like 4-second clips of like a waterfall or something, and they were all monetizable, and then they would just call the videos different names, and they would see what names will get demonetized and what names wouldn't. And that's how they figured it out. And they did this for like thousands and thousands of words. I think it was like I don't know, it was a lot of words, but confirmed demonetized words. Okay. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I guess makes sense, like abortion.
No.
Well, like I guess if they don't want to advertise on videos about abortion.
Okay. Fine. Sure.
But then there's also words like acne and activation and adults.
Yeah. Yes, adults. And then
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan AF.
Yeah.
Ampland. What's Ampland?
We're not allowed to say it. Anal cancer. Anal impaler.
Leakage, sex.
Oh, you're not even allowed to talk about anorexia.
No.
You can't even talk about Asians.
Can't talk about the Antichrist.
Oh, there's a lot of ass words here. Like assisted.
Oh, that's retarded. So I guess it's their algorithm that does this. It's not like actual people.
So the way that the Nerd City video explained that the algorithm will demonetize videos, and then people can request for those videos to be monetized, and they can request for a person to look at it. And if a person still says that it's unmonetizable, then the bots will know that they've done a good job. But if when a person reviews it, it becomes monetizable, then the bots will know that they did a bad job there. And so if a lot of these words are on lots of videos that people that when people review it, it's still demonetized, then those words will be bad words that you can't use.
Mm-hmm.
Like as.
Like autism spectrum disorder.
Yeah, autism spectrum disorder.
Like yep. B00B and then B exclamation point sh.
Like benign prostate enlargement.
Bang, bro, what the fuck? have people been uploading pornography to fucking YouTube? What the fuck?
Bladder cancer.
Benign prostate enlargement.
Yeah.
The fuck is that? Isn't benign like something that they used with like cancer, like benign and malignant? I'm pretty sure that, yeah.
It looks like it doesn't matter how many O's you put in the word boobs, too. It just keeps getting demonetized.
Yeah. I see. Bosomy. Bowel cancer. Brazil. Oh, these are all so good.
Oh yeah, Brazil. You can't. There's so many
Brazil.
countries. So many countries you can't talk about. You can't say bunny fucker.
Buceta? Buceta?
I don't know what that is.
I'll look it up.
I wouldn't look it up. I don't want to know what that is.
Okay, so it shows me... Oh, no, I spelled it wrong.
Oh.
Oh, so it's some sort of pornography, it looks like.
Yeah, it sounded like a porn word. So, yeah, I wasn't going to look it up.
No, well, too late.
Chemtrails. Cemeteries?
Chest infection. Yes. Yes. No, don't want fucking any videos about pneumonia or anything like that. Like, fuck that shit.
Oh, condoms. They can't talk about safe sex or anything.
No, I guess they can't. These are all like in the title, right?
Educational.
These can't be in the title, right? But like in the actual video itself, they can't. They still can't be in concentration camp. Can't talk about that. Corpse. Yeah. Corpses counts.
Well, D's nuts is demonetized. In Delaware too. God. Delaware.
Holy shit! Can't talk about ecstasy.
Yeah, you can't talk about any drugs. You can't talk about
feet.
You can't talk about... There's a whole bunch of dicks here, like words that say dick. And then in the middle of them it says Dick Shady. You can't talk about Dick Shady.
You can't talk about died, dies, dildos, dipshit, Dirty Sanchez. This is like a fucking slam poem or some shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna use all of these. You can't spell
diarrhea, Facebook whore.
Oh, you can't spell drugs with a lowercase d or an uppercase d. Neither of those are allowed.
There's a lot of fuck words, including funerals.
Feminazi.
Oh yeah, I got to the gay part. This is the part they spent like 15 minutes of the Nerd City video talking about how gay people get demonetized automatically, like all their videos.
But right next to it says context sensitive. Gallbladder cancer. That's hilarious. Wait, no, it's not.
Well, what about, is the word lesbian context sensitive? A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L.
Just Control F.
Yeah, lesbian is not context sensitive. Because that was what they were talking about more, was if you use the word lesbian, then it's automatically demonetized. And lots of people, and they were saying that Google and YouTube are hypocrites because they had like float in the gay pride parade and they were marching with them, and they've been trying to be super like good to the LGBT community, but they aren't they're not letting them make money off of their content though.
Yeah. Huh. Grammar Nazi.
Oh yeah. Well, I think that's just because you can't say Nazi. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Same with there's a lot of words on this that are like repeats because they include words that you can't say. So they'd be demonetized anyways.
So like goo and gook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like all the cancers. It's like, I think that the word that they can't say is cancer, probably. Because there's a lot of different kinds of cancers on here.
There's a fucking name. Haley.
Well, you can't say Haley?
You can't say Haley.
The reason New Zealand is on here, I think, is because of the New Zealand shooter. And so probably a lot of people were uploading footage of the shooting because he live streamed it on Facebook. And so the bots probably learned to take down videos with New Zealand because of that. Yeah, but other than that, I think that's the reason, though, why the bots would not like New Zealand.
Yeah, probably.
Or nipples.
Or that, yeah. Nipples are fucking disgusting, dude.
You can't put not safe for work. You can't warn people that your videos aren't safe for work either, because that'll get you demonetized. Yeah, NSFW demonetized.
Oh, a lot of N-words, yep.
Oklahoma. Olympus?
Nope. Can't say that either.
Olympus is demonetized.
Yeah. Can't talk about your fucking favorite book, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. Can't even say own.
There's oh my god, PCP is demonetizable, and there's a podcast that used to be pretty big. It was called the Procrastinators Podcast, or the PCP, and in the last couple years, their podcast it hasn't done so well. I wonder if it's because of this.
Maybe.
Every episode's getting demonetized because it's called the PCP.
Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Can't use the word retarded or retard. Too late.
Oh, you can't even say the word racist. If you can't...
What?
Okay.
You can't say the word racist.
Yeah, racism and racist are both on the list. Removal also. Repeatedly. Request. Restaurants.
Yeah.
I hope you don't repeatedly request any restaurants in your videos, or that's triple demonetized. Even romance. Risky romance.
Oh.
And rumor.
Can't say Scottish.
You can't have a rumor.
Nope.
Sadism or sadly. Satisfying. Scottish. Secretary.
I think secretary makes sense because it's probably in like a porno context.
Well, yeah, but I think the majority of the time it's not used in a pornography context.
Probably not. Sexually transmitted infections, so they're limiting knowledge.
I hope pizza guy should be a word you can't say then. There's a lot of pizza guys in porn.
You can't say Shrek.
What?
It's Shrek. Shrek is demonetized.
Wait, where? A, B, C, D, F, G, H.
Shrek, dude.
Yeah, there it is, Shrek.
What?
Shrek's demonetized.
Oh my god. You can't even use spokesman?
You can't talk about sudden infant death syndrome?
Oh my god. Taking the piss? Is that like an Australian thing?
Well, I know it from Irvin Welsh books, which is Scottish, and they'll always say, like, taking the piss out of someone. Or you're taking the piss, like, when someone's getting, like, made fun of or something, like when they're teasing someone.
Oh. So maybe it's just because the word piss is in there.
Yeah, probably.
Gross. Tit wank. What? Trisexual. What the fuck is a trisexual?
It's when you like 3 genders.
Of a person willing to try anything. That's fucking gay.
I thought that was pansexual.
Let's look it up. I think pansexual is like attracted to everything.
Yeah, so then what's really...
Okay.
Regardless so trisexual sex. Wouldn't necessarily mean you're attracted to everything, but you'd be okay with doing everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. I don't know. You can't even say Ukraine. It's probably because of that war.
You can't say Uncle Fucker?
I guess not.
It's probably because of the South Park movie.
Maybe. Vajayjay, can't say that one.
Vacation.
Vafan Coolio. Who's Vafan?
V-Bucks? You can't talk about V-Bucks or vendors.
Wait, V-Bucks?
V-Bucks.
Wait a second. I know that word. Oh.
Yeah, it's
God damn it, it's fucking Fortnite money.
Yeah, Fortnite money. You can't talk about Fortnite money.
God fucking damn it. Well, good. I hope nobody can talk about fucking whatever the fuck it is.
Okay,
you can't talk about wedgies.
And also something interesting about this is if you go to the all words and you see there's actually quite a lot of words that you can say. This shows you how you write words like asshole and stuff without getting demonetized. If you use dollar signs for the S's, it's monetizable because it's money. Or if you use 5s too for the S's.
Yeah.
And
or if you do 80085, spells boobs. But
yeah.
Can't you use leet?
If you say LSD, then you will get demonetized. But if you say acid, you won't get demonetized.
Yeah, because acid can be science. There's so many. There's more names. My name's in here. What the fuck?
Limey, I think limey is a slur. I think for like Australians or something. I think so.
Because they're like covered in fucking lime rock.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've just heard it. Oh, why is a Jeep Pie's name not demonetized? You should get demonetized for talking about a Jeep Pie. Yeah. But then ISIS gets you an automatic demonetization no matter what, and you can't change it. Yeah, okay. I'm done looking at that list.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything else. Except for Glossy Taco. That's the last one that I'm going to say.
Okay, Glossy Taco. So, what do you think of that list? Isn't it a great list of words you can't say? Remember? Remember when the 7 words you couldn't say on TV or radio were piss, shit, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits? Remember those days? So much easier to remember.
It was. But now you can say all those words, but you can't say all these other new words.
Yeah.
So it's like, what the fuck? It's even more confusing. Like, goddamn. Why?
Because
the liberal government is taking over and we have to stop it.
It's because of advertisers. And even in the Nerd City video shows a clip of a guy who explains really well that these videos that people have to start understanding that when ads are playing on a YouTube video, it's not the same as TV was, where you could say that if an ad was playing in an ad break on a TV show, then that person was supporting that show because on TV it was planned.
Yeah.
So they'd be able to choose where their ads would go. But it's not the same on the internet. On the internet, the ads are chosen by the person who's watching it. It's targeted for the person, not the content that they are watching. And so you can't say that if something is being advertised on a video, then that is what the advertisers endorse.
Yeah.
And people have to start understanding that the internet's different than the TV.
Yeah, that is a fair point, actually. Because, like, you don't want your ad to be playing on, like, some random fucking guy's random shitty video. You'd rather have it being played on, like, I don't know, some safe for work kind of stuff.
Yeah. But advertisers would make a lot more money if they were advertising to everybody, regardless of what content they wanted, I think.
Yeah, but they just don't want their brand associated with anything like that.
Yeah, but what the guy in the video was saying was that people have to start understanding that if you see an ad on a YouTube video, that does not mean that the people who are advertising in that ad don't know what videos it's going to be on, so you can't have that. Like, it's something that people have got to realize. And if they don't, then it's just going to keep getting worse for content creators.
Well, the thing is, it's probably going to start getting like that really soon. Like with all these Zoomers fucking running around. They'll probably know. We're pretty internet conscious.
I think it might get worse right now, but I think it'll get better in the future.
Fucking
one thing.
Zoomers aren't smart enough to figure it out, like right now. Like how you just...
Zoomers aren't in positions of authority to be able to do anything really right now.
Right.
Still too young.
I was thinking about it in terms of like people watching the video rather than like the people who are actually putting the ads on the video.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's people. Okay, so it's a lot of people who. The people watching the videos aren't the ones who make the decisions, though. Well, they can make like split decisions, but then it's the people who are at the top who have to think about this actual stuff and decide what to put forward.
Fucking goddamn, dude.
Poor Zoomers.
Poor Zoomers. Am I right? We got it so bad. It's like fucking horrible. I feel like a fucking Jew growing up in fucking Nazi Germany. It's like everyone's it's like the internet itself is a government informant, and we're living in Soviet Russia.
Do you have any stories about censorship?
No.
No?
I don't know. Oh. Well, I typically just speak my mind. So, at my university, I I just wanted to say an idea. But then that idea was like instantly shut down because nobody liked it.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay.
So, yeah. So like the thing is, censorship limits people's abilities to actually fucking think. Like that's what's going on.
Yeah. Well, the good thing was that you were able to voice your idea in the first place. and you weren't killed.
I wasn't killed.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm just socially ostracized.
Yeah. I have some run-ins with censorship that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
My first run-in with censorship was in grade 8. It was like grade 8 graduation, and we had to make surfboards because I guess the theme for the grade 8 graduation dance was like Hawaii or something. So we had to make these surfboards in art class that would go up all around the sides of the gym that the dance was going to be in. So
let me guess, you drew a giant penis on yours.
No, I didn't draw a giant penis, but I kind of thought I looked at it and I thought, hey, the top of the surfboard, it's all, it's like a dome at the top. So I thought, gravestone, graveyard, cemetery. So I just, the bottom half is, I start drawing like all like ground and dirt and grass. And then the top half is a gravestone. And we're supposed to put our name on it in the year. So I just put Liam Burrows and then like 1996 to 2010 or whatever. And then they didn't, they told me that I had to redo it. And I was like, oh. I was really upset. I was really, really upset about it because I thought it was awesome. So then
it was awesome.
They made me flip the surfboard over. So what I do is I just start drawing the word censored all over it. And then I've just planned to draw it all in black, except for I'll leave the censored white. So I'm starting to draw it all in and color it black. And then the next day at school, after I've colored like half of it black, the principal comes and talks to me, and she has my surfboard, and she's like, oh, what is this? Why is it, what is this? And then, and then I tell her, like, I wasn't able to draw what I wanted to, so I wrote that because I was annoyed. And then she was like, well, I guess that, like, we can understand that, but like parents of other kids might not understand why the surfboard just said censored all over it. They might think you were trying to draw something bad. And I was like, what? Just the word censored. Like, what do you mean it will look, I don't know. And so then they made me redo it again. And so then I drew it like pretty much completely yellow. Except in the middle, I had that quote from South Park, because I really liked South Park at the time. It says, that's like, the quote was, if all of it's, if one thing isn't okay, then none of it is, or something like that. Because I was really mad. And then we finish it, and then the teacher says, there we go. Don't you see how easy that was? And I was like, fuck off. It's like, I hate that. And I have more. Do you want to hear another one?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. So in grade 9 in English, we read a horror story about this. It was a short story about this girl who is she's pregnant, and her husband comes home from work. It's set in like the 1940s, and then
I know this one actually.
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, I'm not going to be with you anymore. And then she kills him with the leg of lamb and then feeds him to police officers, I think.
Yeah.
And and so awesome. Then we were supposed to write what happens after that for like as an assignment. So basically, I wrote that she decides that she doesn't know what to do. So she kills the baby because she doesn't think that she'll be able to support it. So she gives herself an abortion, and then she leaves. She runs away.
She gives herself an abortion and then runs away.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got sent to the guidance counselor's office for writing that.
Oh.
Yeah. And they told me that they didn't get me to rewrite it, which is kind of good, but they also told me that the teacher wasn't going to mark it. And
What?
that oh yeah, cuz that was the first time that I heard that the teachers in Ontario, at least, they are allowed to refuse to mark something if they disagree with what's on, if they disagree with what the with the content.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
This is the first time I've heard that.
Well, they told me that in the guidance office, and then I just got mad and like, because I didn't like being censored. So I ended up in that English class. I ended up writing things that were worse, like trying to make them mad. Like, oh, we had to write some short stories, so I wrote a short story about like a school shooting from the point of view of the school shooter. And then she didn't mark that either. But I was trying to piss them off at that point because I was mad that they wouldn't mark my stuff. Even though
That's fucking retarded. Like, so they can basically deny you marks just because they don't like the content? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So they can literally ruin your education. Like if a teacher has a personal vendetta against you, they can literally just fucking ruin your life.
Well, it's supposed to, I guess it's supposed to be like, you're supposed to learn what your audience is and how to write for your audience, and that's an important thing for writing too. But the thing was, I wasn't thinking about that. I didn't want the teacher to be my audience. I wanted people who I liked to be my audience and people who would understand what I was trying to do. That's who I wanted to be my audience, but I didn't choose the teacher. But it's supposed to be like to teach you to how to write for a specific audience, I guess, and you have to know your audience. Cause it was grade 10 or 11. I had an English teacher, and she loved my work, and she'd give me like 4s every single time. So yeah, like depends on the teachers, but So back to grade 9. I wrote a story about a school shooting, and I didn't get sent to the guidance office for that, but she didn't mark it. And then the last time that I had a run-in with censorship really was in my 5th year. We had to write the history teacher with the glasses and the nice shirts. You know what I'm talking about at the high school? Yeah, and he there was a test, and the final question on the test was that we had to, it was a creative writing part, and we had to write from the point of view of someone who was living in Rome. And so what I wrote was a story about some like chick who was living in Rome, and basically it goes about her day, how she goes to the place, buys food, and then goes home.
That's fucked.
But there was a part in it where she flirts with one of the guys who was running the store, who like one of the vendors at the marketplace in Rome or whatever. And I had to rewrite it because of that part where she was flirting with the guy, because he he didn't like it.
Just flirting. I guess, like, I wouldn't like it either if my student wrote some naughty fan fiction either. But yeah. There was a whole section where we learned about the sexuality of Rome and shit, and how there was a whole part of it. Well, then if you made them gay, it was like ancient history. If you made them gay, then it would have been all right. Because they were doing that.
Yeah, they had the Roman bathhouses and stuff, but
bathhouses, or like a young kid and like older guy.
Yeah, we learned about all that sort of stuff, and then I literally had this like she was married, and then she flirts with some guy, and that's it.
Maybe it's because you didn't go far enough. Maybe that's what it was.
No, it was because it was too far. It was too far for him. So he made me rewrite that part. And so then I wrote up a thing where, like, I wrote about how happy and fun Rome was, and nobody ever died, and the utopia that Rome was. And then he didn't like that either. So then he made me rewrite it again. And then I tried to write it in the most boring voice possible, even though, like, I had fun with it just because I was laughing at how boring the, like, narrator's voice I was making was. And it was just like, oh, this is what Rome is like. Rome is like this. And then he reads that, and he's like, this is perfect. You see how easy that was? Why don't you just do that the first time? It's like, well, because it's not fun to write like that.
Yeah, like the thing, like, fucking, you can't make someone write creatively. And when people actually get some creative writing, they don't know what the fuck to do with it. It's like, that's exactly what fucking happened. It's like, he wants some creative writing. He gets some creative writing, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah. Oh, well.
God fucking damn.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Well, I don't. That's all that I wanted to talk about censorship. I just wanted to vent. That was all I wanted to do. That was why I said we should talk about it.
I tricked you. I tricked you into venting all of my fucking problems. You fucking dumbass. Yeah. I've only ever been like, there's only like once or twice where, like, I was in kindergarten, we had to make like body, like we had to trace our bodies and then draw ourselves, and then I made myself like a fucking vampire.
Oh, that's cool.
Everybody else made theirs normal, but like nobody like, they didn't like mine, for obvious reasons, because I put blood around my mouth and shit. But then they still hung it up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, yeah, like, I think that the problem with it, at least in like in high school and stuff, and during like the formative years, I think that, like, once you get to university, I think that you should be able to, maybe, if you want to, you can set limits on, like, this is who your audience is, as long as they, like, know you're writing for this sort of person. How would you write this? But, like, in high school, I think you should not limit people, and just try and see what they can do. And I think that's more healthy.
Maybe. It's hard to say. Because on one hand, when you're developing, it's good to, like, be able to understand and really know your limits. But on the other hand, it is good for the people who maybe are a little bit...
Well, the way the guidance counselor told it to me was really weird, because, like, so my abortion story, he tells me, like, look, this type of writing is okay in lots of places, but you can do it whenever, but the teacher doesn't like it. Like, that's pretty much what the guidance counselor said. So then that can be confusing, because he's saying it's okay to write that, but it's not okay right now.
I guess.
Yeah.
Fucking teachers, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't fucking know, dude. So much censorship. So much bullshit.
And, I'm thinking about it a little more. Maybe they should be allowed to do that in high school, but they should make it, more apparent in the instructions of the They should make it more apparent that you have to write for this certain audience in the instructions. Because I remember I always followed the instructions, like the way that they told me to write them. But it never said anything about, oh, you need to write it for this audience or this or whatever.
Because that also seemed like a, what is it? Like kind of like a cop-out, like, oh, it was actually, you're supposed to be thinking about this while you wrote it. But,
yeah.
Fuck you.
Especially if they aren't going to mark it if you write the wrong thing.
Precisely. Well, do you have anything else? Any other cool stories?
When I was at camp, we made T-shirts, and I tried to put on my T-shirt "I am King Dork" because I really liked Frank Portman and his book King Dork. So I tried to put "I am King Dork" on there, but then the camp director looks at me and she says, well, you can be a dork somewhere else, but you can't be a dork on our shirts. You can't put that on there. And I was upset, so I just didn't put anything on my shirt. And everyone else was like, oh, why don't you put something else on your shirt? And I was like, well, because I wanted to put I am King Dork on the shirt. And I can't put that on the shirt, so I'll just leave it blank.
Yeah. Well.
Other than that, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah. You're very stubborn with things like that, it seems like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, not really. No, I think we pretty much covered everything we wanted to, except for the fact that I am Donald Dunk.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Okay, well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We talked about my young years and getting censored and getting annoyed, and we talked about YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube censorship, and then Tony censorship. Yeah.
Yep.
So much.
So
censorship.
Have a good week, everybody.
Yeah. Goodbye. Don't smoke too much meth. Just looking out for you.